Now, as Kenya marked 36 years anniversary since the Saba Saba agitation of July 7, 1990, the country's young generation is continuing the mission to liberate the nation. Their push is to ensure their grievances and those of veterans 36 years ago are addressed by the government. The challenges currently facing the Gen Zs are almost similar to those reformists, than notably the use of excessive force against dissenting voices. Two generations, one struggle. The commemoration of the 36th anniversary of the Saba Saba movement comes barely 10 days after the second anniversary of the Gen Z youth protests, both movements agitating for change amidst government suppression.
I think that our generation had a lighter burden than the burden that this generation is now being forced to carry. That the generation of now must deal with the issues of inequality, especially in the economic sphere.
Yet, the same hurdles faced by those at the forefront of the Saba Saba movement are clearly evident 36 years later. Fighting for national liberation, including the most recent anti-finance bill demonstrations, has resulted in deaths, injuries, and even state-sponsored abductions in an effort to silence critics. Wafula Buke, a former political detainee, has raised concerns over the handling of government critics by the Ruto-led administration, terming it worrying.
Any comparison between the Moi regime and the current regime, this one is guilty of more evil than the Moi regime. One of the things you learn about Moi is that when people stood up and faced him in numbers, he always gave in. Moi never used guns much. He relied on the armed forces.
We have a government that is using extremely excessive force, a government that has taken advantage of every day that people show up to kill more people.
In a government where we ask, why is healthcare not working? Why is education not working? And the response you get is, why didn't you ask Uhuru Kenyatta that? Why didn't you ask them why there was national security? What nonsense is that?
When we are practicing whatever the Constitution has guaranteed us in terms of right, we should ensure that we also follow rule of law that we want the government to follow.
As the struggle and agitation for a better Kenya continues, the question remains, will the current and future generations succeed in their quest for reforms, despite taking a leaderless approach?
There's nothing as bad as having an enemy that you cannot see. Being leaderless and tribeless was the most powerful and most brilliant thing we have done.
My generation has already achieved that. My generation is not a generation to keep quiet. It is going to raise issues as they are. They call you out as you are.
For the first time, a government gave up on almost every point within the shortest time, facing a people who have no party, no leader, no tribe, and that kind of thing. I want to say that they have added something new on the list of weapons that have been crafted by generations to confront oppression and dictatorship.
Now, 36 years after the historic